Today, we announce a new class of ACC legends. So, CP, what in your mind does it take to be a football legend?
I think when you think of legends, you think of guys that exemplify on and off the field. You think of guys that uplift the people around them. You think of guys that got character, leadership qualities, and make everything and everybody around them better. So when you look at this group of guys, I think that's leadership legends.
Now, I'm sure one day, CP, you will be an ACC legend, but not yet, not today. However, one of your boys is. The first legend we want to announce, Miami great Edgerin James, second on Miami's all-time rushing list, the number 4 overall pick in the 1999 NFL Draft. He was NFL Rookie of the Year for the Colts, led the league in rushing twice, was a Pro Bowler 4 times, and CP, he ended his career with over 10,000 rushing yards.
I think when you look to Edgerin James, when you look at what he brought to the University of Miami and the guys that followed, I think Edgerin James put the University of Miami back on the map. You know, the historical win against UCLA that got all of us after to come. I think it started with Edgerin James and just the effect that he left on everyone at the university. Anytime you go back, you're going to see that number 5 in the Miami Heat Arena, downtown Miami, all over the University of Miami. So I think he's well deserving and he appreciates this honor.
Now, we're trying to get Edge on the show. We were working on that for today. We couldn't work it out, but we will definitely have him join us another day soon. So we add Edge to this great list, the Hurricanes ACC legends. Since Miami joined the conference, you know, it started out as like a quarterback binge. Hey, it used to be quarterback U. But then it started turning into running back U down in South Florida. James is the first, but definitely not the last. I suspect we could see more running backs soon. Think of them: Otis Anderson, Melvin Bratton, Alonzo Highsmith, Najee Davenport, Cleveland Gary, Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, and oh yeah, CP.
I mean when you
I promise, I will put in the good word for you.
Hey, I appreciate you putting in the good word. But when you think running backs from the University of Miami, I think now that Edge is out of the way, before and after me, I think there's so many guys that are sitting like, yeah, I'm up next. So Edge is out of the way. Hopefully I'm up next. But if I'm not, I think the guys that were before and after me will all be deserving of this.
All right, let's look at more of the legends. For 2013, also on the list, Mike Cloud, one of Boston College's all-time leading rushers. Terry Kennard, a member of the College Football Hall of Fame. 2 guys who both ended up with the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL, Duke's Wes Chesson and Florida State's Jamie Dukes. Robert Levette, Georgia Tech's all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. 2 quarterbacks made this year's class. One of them, you know him by his nickname, Boomer. Boomer Esiason is Maryland's 2013 legend, the last Terrapins ACC legend before the school heads to the Big Ten. He set 17 school records, finishing with over 6,000 passing yards at Maryland. He then went on to be the 1988 NFL MVP, and he threw for over 37,000 yards for the Bengals and Jets.
I think so many guys come out playing Pop Warner or playing throw-up tackle. When you play football in the streets, want to be Joe Montana, want to be Steve Young, Warren Moon, and all those guys. Growing up, I was Boomer Esiason. That nickname alone made me want to be Boomer. And then when you think Ickey Woods, Brooks, Francis, you had so many guys that made you want to be a Bengal. So congratulations to Boomer Esiason.
Absolutely well-deserved. The rest of the legends, North Carolina's Ken Willard, a 4-time NFL Pro Bowler. NC State twins, that's right, the Wolfpack gets 2 of them. Dave and Don Buckley, they were even drafted both by the Jets. Floyd Little, that's right, Hall of Famer Floyd Little. Tom Scott played 2 ways for UVA in the 50s for Virginia Tech. Wide receiver Andre Davis. And Wake Forest quarterback in the late 70s, Jay Venuto. Johnny Majors is proud of the wins and bowl games and the championships, but he says that's not what he thinks of when he looks back at his coaching career.
I've been spoiled by how well I've been treated by people. In the long run, most of all, a lot more than I've been mistreated. I'm not worried at all what they say about me after I'm gone or what they think about me, because I'd like to be known as a builder and a teacher and somebody who taught people how to play and how to have more pride in themselves and to believe that they could be built to be winners if they did what we told them to do and asked them to do.
Majors, he won a national title at Pitt in '76. That team was led by Heisman Trophy winner, future Hall of Famer Tony Dorsett. He then coached 16 seasons at Tennessee, that's his alma mater, before returning back to Pitt for 4 more years. Now, CP, who are some of the great coaches you played for and against?
I think playing against, I would start off, you think of Bobby Bowden, you think of Frank Beamer. Those coaches, anytime you played them, you knew they were going to have a great team. Guys I played for, it don't get any better than Mike Shanahan in Denver, and then playing for a legendary Joe Gibbs. These guys will go down as all-time great coaches when it's all said and done. So having the opportunity to play for them was great for me.
Absolutely. 5 running backs are in this year's class. We talked about edge, but only one is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. An outstanding choice as the first Syracuse ACC legend, Floyd Little. CP, you had to be great to wear number 44 at the Qs.
Not only did you have to be great, when you look at Floyd Little, who was the last of these guys that wore 44, you think of you think of Ernie Davis, you think of Jim Brown were the guys before him, and he's the first to go in. That speaks volumes to say that Floyd Little comes in before Jim Brown or Ernie Davis. So Syracuse was loaded, and I see why 44 is retired.
There will be some great Syracuse names that become ACC legends over the years. I mean, think about it. You mentioned Jim Brown, Art Monk, Larry Zonka, Dick McPherson, Don McPherson, Rob Moore, Marvin Harrison, Donovan McNabb. It goes on and on. Syracuse, great tradition. Now, the youngest player in this year's class is Virginia Tech wide receiver Andre Davis. Just 34 years old. He was on the '99 Virginia Tech team that played Florida State for the national title. In fact, Davis was on the cover of Sports Illustrated that year. He went on to a long NFL career, and I know you played against him.
You know, that '99 team beat us so bad in Blacksburg, Virginia. I would never forget, you know, how much of a threat he was downfield. You know, he came in on track scholarship. And so young guys today, when you mention track scholarships, it's like, no, I'm not going to that school. Andre Davis came into Virginia Tech as a track guy and turns out to be a legend this early in his career. I think that's great.
Davis went on to play for the Browns, the Pats, the Bills, and the Texans in the NFL. And those are the outstanding ACC legends for 2013.